Hello, my name is Ben. This is Rachel, Emma, and Zoe, and together we represent the Coalition for Proper E-Waste Disposal. I'm a representative from the Ball Action Network. Rachel is a representative from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Emma is a representative of Best Buy Suppliers, and Zoe is a representative of the coalition itself.
Our goal here is to address the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 14, Life Underwater.
This goal is advancing the sustainable use and conservation of the ocean by implementing strategies to reduce the acidification, pollution, and worsening of coastal eutrophication.
Within this goal, our main target we wish to address is to reduce marine pollution, specifically marine debris and nutrient pollution, by 2025. We seek to minimize the impacts of ocean acidification through scientific cooperation at all levels.
We're sure you're aware of ocean pollution and the effects on our ecosystem. However, we feel it's important to address what ocean pollution truly entails. 1.4 billion pounds of trash each year enters the oceans. Plastic is the most common element found in the ocean and is harmful to the environment as it does not break down easily and is often considered food by marine animals. Besides plastic, there are other elements who are seen as equally harmful for the ocean and marine life. In fact, e-waste is on the rise to become one of the ocean's largest pollutants. In 2016, e-waste was 49.3 million tons.
E-waste, or electronic waste, refers to obsolete, broken, or irreparable electronic equipment. These items can be smartphones, laptops, computer monitors, and they can end up in our landfills or in developing countries or in the oceans. Components within these products are lead and mercury, which are toxic for human and marine life. Mercury and lead pose health threats to recycling workers, marine life, and our drinking water.
We've given you this overview of our purpose and insight to the effects of ocean pollution. Now we'll break down Best Buy's efforts within sustainability and e-waste and how our individual interests in meeting UN SDG number 14 align with Best Buy.
We as a coalition are working to ensure that Best Buy has safe practices for e-waste recycling and has a clear plan for future progress. To drive change, we can wield our informational, political, and economic power in both the market and non-market sectors. Economic power is the idea that suppliers can withhold products or refuse to refill orders if a company acts improperly or fails to meet contractual obligations. Informational power regards the access to valuable data, facts, or details. The disclosure or non-disclosure of information can be used to persuade, mobilize, or threaten others, as this form of power is becoming increasingly important in today's society. Political power focuses on legislations, regulations, or lawsuits. This allows us to have a high level of salience. We will begin to break down the three stakeholders within our coalition as well as the powers we hold, beginning with the Ball Action Network.
We, the Ball Action Network, are a charitable, non-governmental organization working to combat the export of toxic waste from technology and other products from industrialized societies to developing countries. We're based in Seattle, Washington, and have a partnering office in the Philippines. We currently have 4 campaigns focusing on decreasing the amount of toxins from entering the environment and protecting underdeveloped countries from serving as a toxic waste dump to the base of the pyramid, which are developing nations. Our main 2 campaigns include the E-Stewards Initiative and Green Ship Recycling. Our power over Best Buy includes our ability to influence Best Buy's consumers by spreading any information we find necessary regarding Best Buy's pollution and lack of e-waste recycling.
We are the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. We are an agency independent of the U.S. federal government and work on environmental and human protection throughout the nation. With our relationship to Best Buy, we can impose fines or regulations on the company for violations of our standards. We also can inspect companies and stop illegal practices. With our efforts, we hope to help Best Buy maintain high sustainability standards while allowing for thriving business.
We represent Best Buy's main coalition of suppliers. These suppliers include Samsung, LG, Apple, and Microsoft. Best Buy relies on us to supply products for retail sale since our goods are what ultimately generate their profits. However, we have our own environmental standards we follow and are willing to cut or alter our relationship with Best Buy should our interests not align. We also can get fined alongside Best Buy for our environmental regulations, as the idea of producer pays has become increasingly common in order to promote proper disposal of e-waste. Therefore, we want to maintain a transparent and healthy relationship with Best Buy to ensure our customers receive the technology they are looking for.
Within these 3 stakeholder groups, the EPA and BAN work together as a natural coalition. BAN relies on the EPA in order to make their work useful on a federal level and to ensure companies follow through with regulations. BAN's research team conducts investigative journalism to uncover instances of e-recycling misuse or e-waste mismanagement and then informs the EPA for legal action. BAN documents the mismanagement for the EPA and the public to read and become informed. In this relationship, there becomes tension between Best Buy and the EPA as BAN investigates to find places of misuse by companies and where they fail to follow EPA legislation.
Our coalition works well together because although suppliers do not form a natural coalition with the EPA and BAN, their involvement has the potential to create a powerful coalition affecting the business and operations of Best Buy. If suppliers, such as Apple, Microsoft, and Sony, are fined for environmental practice by the EPA, they may want to reduce their work with Best Buy. Suppliers have this type of power because although they earn profits through their partnership with Best Buy, they don't solely rely on them for sales. Best Buy is a retailer who relies on these suppliers for their goods and services, making the voices of their suppliers very salient for Best Buy.
So how do these all come together? The EPA, with their partnership in the United Nations University Solving the E-Waste Problem Initiative and other global programs, work to address the misuse of disposed electronics. BAN works as an NGO watchdog for the EPA, addressing e-waste dumping, pollution, and lead in groundwater. Suppliers must be dedicated to proper e-waste management to avoid excessive fines or a mismanagement reputation. Together, the three stakeholders present a salient team to Best Buy with economic, political, and informational power that comes with a sense of urgency.
As a leading retailer in the technology industry, Best Buy and their efforts towards a sustainable future are a large contributor to e-waste. E-waste is not only affecting developing countries and marine life, but also drinking water and customers who live near the coast. E-waste is becoming the fastest rising source of pollution and an issue that affects SDG number 14.
Why do we care? E-waste is expected to grow by 33% in the next 4 years. Just last year, the amount of e-waste generated was 15.4 pounds per person, which totaled over 15 million tons globally. Despite these statistics, Best Buy is currently taking steps to move towards a sustainable future. In alignment with the values of enriching people's lives through technology, contribution to the common good, and positively impacting the world, Best Buy must also have a positive impact on the environment in reducing their carbon footprint. They have received numerous awards for environmental impact.
During fiscal year 2018, Best Buy announced the Renew Blue transformation, which includes a set of goals laid out for Best Buy's sustainability program in 2020. Their main goal by this year is to reduce carbon footprint by 60%. During fiscal year 2017, Best Buy exceeded their goal to reduce carbon emissions by 45% through their use of two sustainable practices: energy-efficient operations and sourcing renewable energy. These two sustainable practices are being utilized by Best Buy through their energy management system, carbon reduction in cars, and partnership with Energy Star.
Additionally, Best Buy closely manages the carbon emissions of more than 5,000 Geek Squad vehicles. They aim to use smaller vehicles as often as possible and map the most efficient routes to their destinations. In fiscal year 2017, Best Buy introduced a new Geek Mobile fleet comprising of more than 1,200 Toyota Prius C hybrids. Adding the Prius C hybrid has brought an overall 6% improvement in their fleet's miles per gallon. In addition to customer-facing vehicles, Best Buy closely manages the fleet of inventory distribution trucks. They continue to reduce empty miles, or miles driven with no products in the truck, by backhauling e-waste to the distribution centers.
Best Buy offers a large selection of Energy Star certified products to help their customers save money, reduce energy, and further protect the environment by meeting strict energy guidelines set by the EPA and the U.S. Department of Energy. U.S. customers purchased more than 22 million Energy Star certified products in 2018 and experienced more than 45 million in utility bill savings. This energy savings equates to more than 580 million pounds of CO2 emissions avoidance.
Although Best Buy is making continuous efforts for SDG number 14 in reducing carbon emissions, you are poorly regarding the area of responsible recycling. Best Buy formerly had a program where their e-waste was given to a recycling company called eStewards, but they discontinued this program because it was losing money and they needed to cut down on margins. This means that Best Buy is contributing to e-waste pollution, which eventually means it is dumped directly into oceans, put into landfills where toxins like lead and mercury will eventually leak into the water.
We, as the Coalition for Proper E-Waste Disposal, have crafted new practices for Best Buy to adopt to meaningfully address the target, life underwater, and the growing problem of e-waste pollution. Best Buy should focus on three main areas of sustainability in addition to sustainability practices you have already adopted. Best Buy should join the UN Global Compact, which is a pact with the United Nations to encourage sustainable business practices for corporations and businesses. Joining the compact will allow your company to get expert advice on the areas you need improvement in, in order to continue being the sustainability award-winning company we know you all to be. Second, we implore you to put pressure on suppliers to manufacture computers and tech items with low amounts of lead. Lead can be toxic for e-waste recycling workers to handle, it can sink into our drinking water, and kill off marine life. Finally, Best Buy needs to release more reports on the sustainable efforts you all take on. The need for transparency will help your customers trust the work that you all do in order to go green and help them make aware of the issues that plague our planet. We know that's a lot. Let's break all this down into achievable steps for the next 10 years.
The 10-year plan addresses the 4 sustainability quadrants that make up the sustainable value portfolio. Within the short term, Best Buy could focus their cost and risk reduction by reviewing their financial statements and cutting any distribution costs. Regarding their reputation as a sustainable company, Best Buy should work to produce more transparent writings that list their clear efforts and individual steps that they will take to move towards a sustainable future. Looking forward into their future growth, Best Buy could use these residual costs to reinstate their contract with the e-Stewards program. This would allow Best Buy to be seen as a responsible recycler while avoiding the burden of incurring excessive costs. Finally, Best Buy can focus attention on their future growth by additionally appointing a representative to join the UN Global Compact to find out how they can grow as a sustainable business and help the bottom of the pyramid with e-waste. With these changes in mind, Best Buy would address their goals of short-term and long-run success in order to improve their position on the sustainable value portfolio.
If you, the Board of Directors, consider our call to action and proposition, all stakeholders would benefit much more than they expense. The coalition itself would achieve its goal and each member would fulfill their basic objectives. Best Buy may suffer some short-term costs from using the e-Stewards program and restructuring some supply chain issues, but in the long run, the benefits will greatly outweigh the costs thanks to increased efficiency and sweetened consumer sentiment. Being a sustainable company with a sustainable business model and supply chain will help fulfill the needs of the current situation while also setting the company up for a prosperous future.
We hope that we have made a compelling argument for why Best Buy should care about SDG number 14 and the impact that you can have on our planet's water. We are sure that the steps we have laid out for you all will make a difference for your company and for the rest of the world. We applaud your efforts in the realm of sustainability thus far, and we are excited to see where you all will go with the support of us as a coalition and your other stakeholders.